Hi friends, this video would be going to be about the techniques to improve the hip mobility, specifically for the internal rotation and strengthen the muscles responsible for it so as to improve your overall performance. Before we start with the video, let's have a look on the healthy range of motion of those hip rotators, which is around 30 to 40 degree for the internal rotation and about 40 to 45 degree for those external rotations. These are some of the tests which you can perform on yourself to know about your hip internal rotation. To perform this, come on to a kneeling position and try to push your legs outward as I am doing here without changing the pelvic position. And take a note of your end range, which you can mark as your comfortable internal rotation range, and improve upon it if you are lacking the healthy range of motion which we have discussed earlier. This is another way to test your internal range, for which you have to lie on your back and try to rotate your leg outward, which would in turn rotate your hip bone inward so that you can get an idea about your internal range of motion. You can see that even my right leg is a bit restricted in the internal rotation as compared to the left one, which I suppose is due to the ACL injuries which I had in the past. To perform this exercise, sit erect keeping those legs wide as you can see in the video. Then flexing those ankles, which will protect your knee from any strains, try to bring the thighs inward as much as it's comfortable to you. And hold this end range for a few seconds and repeat it for 15 to 20 times on each side, which will help you loosen those hips and mobilize that internal rotators. Don't push too much on your first day and try to do it on a daily basis and improve your range gradually. You can abandon this exercise if it's causing any knee trouble for you. If you are lacking the range of motion at those hip flexors, then you won't be able to sit erect and push those thighs inwards properly. So as to counter that issue, I would suggest you to take the support of the wall and perform the same exercise that we have done earlier. When it comes to improving mobility, the resistance band drills are the best thing one can go for. To perform this drill, attach the band to a firm and stable bar at a knee level height and fix the other end just above the knees as you can see here. Then move on to the same position of the exercise which we did earlier and keep the other leg straight and let the band pull those thighs inward, which will have an optimal stretch at those internal capsule of the hips, which you have to hold for 1 to 2 minutes to improve its range. To perform this exercise, come onto a 90-90 position, which means the front knee and the rear one both makes an angle of 90 degree as I am showing here. And then try to lean onto the rear leg side, which will help you to improve your internal range at the hips as you lean further onto that side. I have shown both the wall supported and the unsupported versions of this mobility drill, which you can choose according to your comfort. To move further into the mobility, we can use a banded version of 90-90 drill, for which you have to attach the band just at the knee level and the other end at the midfoot of the rear leg, as I am doing here. Once the band is attached, it will assist you to pull the leg in an upward direction, which will in turn rotate the tibia or the thigh bone internally, helping you to improve its internal rotation at the hip capsule. Try to hold this lifted position at its end range for about 1 to 2 minutes so as to improve your internal mobility. Come on into a kneeling position with your legs rotated outward and sit back on your hips without curving the back or changing the pelvic position. This exercise is not a good one for those who are facing any knee issues, which I had in the past. That's why I'm not pushing further into this stretch. But if you don't have any knee issues, you can try to touch your hips onto the ground by working on it daily and improving those internal rotation at hips. If you are not clear with this drill, then have a side view look for better understanding. The only way to improve the range of motion is to work around it frequently. So with this technique, you will be able to isolate those internal rotation at the hips using a foam roller. To perform it, just lie on your side and place a foam roller in between the knees which are bent at a 90-degree angle. Then try to squeeze the roller and lift the feet, keeping the knee position intact. Hold the end range for about 10 to 15 seconds before you move on to the another rep, and try to push further with each rep you perform. Only working on your mobility is not enough to improve your overall performance. It's necessary to strengthen the muscles which are responsible for the movement of the joints that we have mobilized earlier. That's why I have added this exercise so as to strengthen those hip internal rotating muscles. To perform it, come on to the same position as before and attach a mini loop band around the shins, and then try to lift those feet, which will add a resistance and improve your muscle strength.
I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah,